Welcome guys to the 3 hours of Spa Invitational Event by WTF1 hosted on rFactor 2. We are live with the awesome event and we're gonna join the live stream right here, right now, and kind of start a watch party right there. Actually, bear with me. Bear with me. Okay, just a check. So,
to the
putting on the sound.
Diving into that turn, I would say. Your Name Racing here, a team known, I would say, from the P1 events.
Get
P1
some,
LMS, for example, very strong
food.
on the GTE. So obviously the invites were based on many different factors like region.
Yeah.
Is the team new? Should it be like have its chance to be
It's
highlighted?
a known issue,
Did
isn't
they
it,
win
Ricardo?
previous championships, for example, as Your Name here from P1. We also have the Butler Motorsport LMP2, which is the champion from P1 LMS, the endurance series over there.
Kind of interested to see how it goes.
Between many different championships here, which will make it even more interesting to see who comes out on top.
And that's where you get an interesting grid, because you've got drivers from all over the place taking part. And like you say, there's so many different categories that see drivers onto the grid. I've noticed names I haven't seen for a little while. Ryan Elliott, Scott Simmons, who are the two teammates of the guy that's currently driving, being Jonathan Hoggard in the RSR car. That's a little bit down the LMP2 category, but they're actually very, very fast. Jonathan Hoggard raced in the Daytona 24 this year.
Thank you very much indeed.
Also taken part in
Let's have a looky. Simončić close to Chinchik there for
the last couple of years. Very strong driver, pretty quick in sim racing. Unfortunately, last in LMP2, but that just shows how strong this is. It's so incredibly potent a pace of all these drivers, be it in LMP2 or GTE.
Yeah, I can't really decide which would be my favorite class in. We see, for example, Jack Keithley on the number 8 Marla Racing Team car. Jack Keithley is a name everyone out there should know when it comes to sim racing. Peter Bielak is saying he's really, really quick, still racing in the GT Pro Series. So the Marla Racing Team is here with a strong lineup. And then obviously the two typical Williams Esports names, I would say, when it comes to rFactor 2, Brzezinski and Wisniewski. Both with several wins in totally different championships and events.
Up to second they go as well, passing Jene Simončić for Bajkoles Burst Esports. A little bit of a shame there isn't more Bajkoles on that, because I really like their livery in the Le Mans Virtual. Jene Simončić teaming up with Dennis Jordan. No Alex Siebel here today, as he's I think he's a very busy man, is Alex Siebel. I think he's doing his Masters at the moment, so I don't think he has quite enough time. So I'm sure Simončić and Jordan will get along just fine. Success Esports, here with Shirakawa.
Let's see if
behind the
Sibellini
wheel.
is on that
I
chat.
believe it's Suzuki the one qualifying.
It's gonna
I'm not
be
100%
fun.
sure on that.
Anyway, guys, feel free
class.
to have a chat with us.
Not too bad. I'm sure they'll be all right with
Vargas
that. The GT category
There is Mroczek, our
LMP2,
teammate with a purple sector 1.
Well, we saw
awesome
Spa-Francorchamps
stuff.
going sideways
Sadly,
there. I think that was
3/10 missing
Mroczek
their
and
sector
Hoyer.
2.
Both had been racing tonight already. Hoyer in the Porsche Cup support race. Mroczek, the winner of the F3 support race. So they should be warmed up. And I wonder, it's one thing to be warmed up for the track. The other thing is either being already done for today, right? I mean, being exhausted. And the other thing is they're now switching from completely different cars into this high-class Orica LMP2 weapon, basically, which is a completely different drive for them.
It's massively different. That's the thing. Dan Count there goes up into 7th place as well. He's, as much as there's 3 drivers signed up to that car, leaving the final corner with a bit of a slide there. Love that livery, by the way. It's good to be a chicken house. The thing with Dan Kell doing the opening, he's got to do the opening 2 hours of the race, and he's only actually got one teammate because Matt Richards isn't actually taking part. Matt Richards and Cedar Vire are both taking part in the same race, which is happening right now. So Cedar Vire has to move from one car also into this, straight into the race, no qualifying late. He's just literally being thrown into this car, which I'm sure isn't easy.
No, it definitely isn't. And it's a Patel on 14th right now in GTE class. That means Shirakawa for Success Esports and Team RGPL with Alexei Kutsak are around them. But
where are they sitting right now, Ricardo?
And in front of them is actually number 36, John Laser Esports with Martin Durland. That's a name we'll read a lot when it comes to rFactor 2 events.
He's been in his fair few. I think a lot of these drivers have been in their fair few. They're not inexperienced drivers when it comes to the car, so I think that makes life a bit easier, doesn't it? When you're already experienced in the car and then you sort of get thrown into it, you're like, I already know what I'm doing. It's fine. The track, however, might be different.
It's one of the newly formed teams, I would say. They have at least they have a new logo. I remember that, which is lovely. I like that.
They are, yeah. They've definitely come up the scene in the sort of last 6 months, but they've all been together in other teams because they were right a Sombic before.
Yeah, it's a surprise.
And sort of it's just been rebranded and changed.
Okay, I haven't said anything. The car with Yayovsky on it in P5.
RAG Esports, a team, if you're watching the rFactor 2 GT Pro Series, you're very familiar with, because they basically try to lock out the entire top 5. It didn't really work out last time.
From 13th they go to
Castup and Nuno Pinto. Nuno Pinto, an ex-driver from AAA, and also
I think Mroczek is done, sadly.
So it's the 3rd livery I'm seeing him in now. No, I saw him in a different livery before that as well. He was HM Engineering.
It's super crazy up from the top 3.
A new entry to the world of
Shinchik is done.
They also did an appearance in the British rFactor 2 Championship. Is Fordzilla, so the official Ford esports team here with Lopez and Rodriguez, a Spanish team basically, trying the first major event, I would say, with the Fordzilla brand here.
Absolutely, and that livery, by the way, I am very much in favour of. I do like that livery there, the blue there, the striking orange on the side of it.
Could have been a bit more orange on the right. Look at that. I like the orange in there. Unfortunately, it's only on one side. Can we have more of that?
I quite like a slightly asymmetrical livery, though. I think it looks...
Siggy's coming in with a sick one.
Wow, look at this lap coming in from Kevin Siggy. He's not happy that he's being outpaced at the moment by world's fastest gamer of the first season, Rudy Van Buren. And Siggy... he's pushing hard. He wants to put one up.
Currently looking for, like, if there are any cars without a lap yet, because there are a few. Our Envision STS Sim Racing with Belaziotis, for example. I can't find lap
I think that's it.
as of right now, and I also don't see.
I'm here, guys.
Functional currently in 18.
session, so we will advance very shortly. A few reminders: code 80 will be under the pit limiter. So you will drive 60 kilometers an hour, not 80, but I will still call it code 80. Remember, in pit lane, the cars are collidable. So unlike iRacing, you will hit the other cars if you run into them. So please remember that. You get 4 warnings before getting a cut penalty. You might get a penalty before if you cut really hard. So the race start, we will do 1 lap under as a formation lap, and you will drive approximately 100 kilometers an hour. I will follow the leader, and I might tell you guys to speed up. So that's why the race is 3 hours and 5 minutes. Single file all around the lap, and you get the green when you cross the start-finish line. This is a very short race from the start-finish line to turn 1, so please keep that in mind. Finally, good luck.
Channel switched.
So guys, 3 hours of Spa are coming up, and actually, Ricardo, I think the field is quite spread still. Anyway, it's about 1.5 hours until I am into the car, which means I get something to eat. Because I have plenty of time. And you can't see it anyway. But I'm so hungry. So I'm sorry. Anyway, a big welcome to this little watch party right now. We're going to have a nice view on the top of the rFactor 2 guys here, at least in the beginning. And I'm gonna shoot the audio live so you can actually hear something. That is probably interesting.
To iterate over the trees again and again and get things closer and closer. As you can see, build up tree lines as well in a similar fashion behind the initial first line of trees. A tool that we make strong use of these days is Railclone. Railclone allows us to procedurally build up assets with logic, and we can do quite advanced stuff which we'd spend a long time doing manually otherwise. An excellent example of this is Armco, whereby we can dynamically change the elements as we wish and control them, as well as generate LODs for the models, or even collision meshes very easily at a click of a button. It allows us to quickly iterate and update these assets, as well as building in logic for things like the change of number of elements, and also ensuring the end pieces are unique as well. However, to do this can often end up being quite complex, as the style editor for this Armco would show you. So we hope you enjoy the race, and hope you enjoy the track as well, and we look forward to bringing you whatever's next.
Thanks, Alex. One of the guys that are doing the tracks here at Studio 397, bringing you some insight to how it's done to actually bring those great locations alive. So let's get back into the grid, remind ourselves who's starting the race, and it is Williams, actually. Williams Esports Chill Blast that will start and open this 3-hour race in front of Varga Sim Racing, Bicyclist Burst Esports, and JTR Esports with Jensen Button in 4th.
Then we've got the R8G Esports leading the 3rd row with Fordzilla in behind. Marla, the sister team to Williams Esports, 1 Echo, start from 8th.
Burst Esports, the 2nd car, Mroczek and Hoyer in 9th. Axel Sports was Aslan Nassi in 10th. It's, by the way, a beautiful livery. Really like that. The Roman Croissant Esports was Castub and Nuno Pinto, and I missed the 12th there. Very, very unfortunate for me.
Drillers Esports of Dan Brewer. Behind that would be Ibrahim Khan, who's currently driving the Prio Esports car. Then we've got Pescara in behind that. The Cetrez Nita Velix car, new sponsor for them, only starting in 15th place. Rookie Monsters start from 16th.
And then we've got Drillers Esports, Axel Sports, once again, Iron Vision STS Sim Racing, and DX Droids on 20th.
One of your cars, Butler Power, starting in from the 21st position. Then we've got Team Spirit Racing. Won't be happy with 22nd. Speedy Might and Virtual Sim Racing start down on the back end of the grid. The last car on the grid, RSR in the LMP2 category.
And then obviously we're heading over to GTE, our second class, led by the 2 Porsche 24 by Team Redline cars with Kevin Seege, Van Splunterin, Rudy van Buren, Schuring, and then HM Engineering with first Ferry Stanley, who did the qualification there, and then Sim Racing for Holland.
Adam Baldwin, I think, is going to be the driver behind the wheel of the Jesus Satellite Racing crossover. Your Name Here Racing, Pfeiffer, oh no, it's Tump behind the wheel of that one. Then your boys, Zbigniew Shara, and Dan Kell starts from 8th for Zansho.
9th then is the BMW Works team. That's Ellen Turzek behind the wheel during the start. Michael Satlicek for Farga Sim Racing. John Elise Esports with Jordy Swiss and Martin Dillon for the second John Elise entry.
DX Droids line up 13th place. Mohammed Patel for BMW as well behind that. Andrea Terzi and Masahiro Yamazaki drives for ADR Esports.
Interesting
from 16th.
grid. It's so competitive,
is then
especially in LMP2 classes, like top of the top guys.
Mr. Fox racing in the 20th. I thought that would be the case, but it wasn't, because it's actually Yuri Shirakara in 20th.
Certainly is. I think we had a little bit of a change up there. Driving from 21st place there, Mr. Fox, but then ESR, Foland, Scuderia Chicken House, keep an eye on that one. And then the team of the YouTubers, Butler Power Motorsports, your boys, starting from 24th.
So, here we come.
I'm
There's
pretty sure that Ermin Hamidovic and Mike just went for that due to the entertainment value. Talking about entertainment value, it will be a Jakub Brzezinski who will start.
Well, there's a huge gap
Wait until they cross the line.
first to second.
Yeah, they'll do. And off we go into the 3-hour race. So Brzezinski, Vorcic, and Simičić are top 3 going through the source for the very first time. And it will be a defending slipstream tactics basically for Jakub Brzezinski here.
I thought it's gonna be under the pit limiter, but they suddenly
absolutely. That's the thing with separating the classes.
Accelerate before the last chicane.
The line means that we don't have any massively chaotic starts, but we do get a fantastic one underway.
Any
Here's
issues?
the GTE category.
No, but I'm like over a second
drivers
behind
the guy in
and
front.
second, looking to run away with things over HME's Ferris Stanley.
Well, as long as you didn't anything wrong,
yeah,
just keep going.
Do those team tactics once again on the long stretch here with HM Engineering. They have Ferris Stanley. He is a very good driver, and he's known for good performance in endurance racing, even though this might be a very short endurance race, I would say, with only 3 hours, but it's still a longer race than a normal sprint one. So Brzezinski still in the lead for LMP, for Vorcic and Simičić. So that's Varga and Varga and Burst Esports. While we see Kevin Seege already going alongside his own teammate.
Oh, Van Buren's there. He's in first place. Already made that one up. So Siggy only second place, already being passed on the first lap. Nice move there. Battling in the early stage of the race may not be so fortuitous, but I'm sure they'll be happy up front at the moment, running 1 and 2. Clean start in LMP2 as well was the Williams Esports Chill Blast car, currently leads from Vargas Sim Racing and Bicolas Burst Esports. But even though it is a shortened endurance race, being only 3 hours, the long game will still be king. Who are the masters of the long game in rFactor 2 endurance racing, at least in the LMP2 category?
It'll be interesting to see whether Varga is going for a move there straight away.
Dennis Jordan, watch out for them when we get towards the checkered flag.
Definitely a team that has a chance here to reign supreme in the 3-hour event on Spa, our very first longer race on this new circuit. But we also see that Varga Sim Racing now is a lot closer than on lap number 1 to Williams Esports Chill Blast. So it seems like Brzezinski will need to defend latest up the hill of Rodillon. Then there's no chance for him to get away from the Varga Sim Racing guys here, because they are fairly quick. But look at the gap already they have in front of Bicolas Burst Esports.
Yeah, it's a huge gap. I will say, fast lap of the race finished to Erhan Yovsky, but I actually think it went to Marcel Chinchik, who, on the first lap of the race, picked up a track cut already in the race. That will not do the Varga Sim Racing driver too well. Yanni Simičić in behind this, defending from Jan von der Heide, and Erhan Yovsky, who set the fastest lap. So things are still closing up. Yellow flag out in Sector 1. Not sure who's causing that one, but pretty early for a yellow flag.
Yeah, I didn't saw anyone dropping in the standings yet. Also in the GTE group, it's still the two Porsche 24 cars leading, while we see Rookie Monsters against Driller Esports. I think there was small running white there already, losing the rear coming out of that chicane.
There's a huge crash at the back. There is a car massively in the wall with only 3 wheels. I don't think that's what's causing the yellow flag in Sector 1. I'm actually not sure what's doing it, because Mikhail Sedlacek, who is off at Blanchimont, which isn't a Sector 1, it's in Sector 3, but I think that might be what's causing the yellow flag to come up anyway.
Yeah, that car is toast, basically. There's a rear wing missing. Not really great on these GTE cars, because you want to get all the aerodynamics working as much as you can for you. So the Varga GTE entry will already pull into the pits, while we see the big fight here between Rookie Monsters, Driller Esports, and Axel Sports in the background. That is Mika Hakimi, the white car at the end of this group, and then Timothy Andonovsky in the Driller Esports cars here with the white, orange, and black.
There is also a little bit of a battle happening towards the back end of the top 10 in the GTE category as we catch a replay and see what's happening. This is on board with Sedlacek, and this is exactly what happened. So coming into Blanchimont, that is one of the Jean Lacey Esports Academy drivers. I think that might have been Jordi Zveers, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, that is quite a contact. Not sure if it was, but that's not ideal.
I mean, you can lose the rear as well.
Issues.
We would need to see it from the back there if there was contact earlier
He's
or
blocking pit
after
lane
the
as well.
car started slipping away.
Mikhail Sedlacek is blocking pit lane at the moment, blocking pit lane entry. He's just sat in pit lane entry. That is not good. Here's another replay. This is on board with the DX Droids driver, as we can see what's happening ahead. There's the Jean Lacey Esports Academy driver to the inside. There was definite contact.
Oh, the Jean Lacey car lost it first.
Yeah, and clipped. Oh!
Whose Ferrari was that?
I think that might be one of the wave.
That looked weird.
I'm not sure. That was. I don't actually think they made too harsh a contact there.
It was very unfortunate. I mean, that was side draft. Then we saw the Ferrari getting loose, and he probably, maybe even touched him front and rear. So unsettled the car like 2 times, basically, and then it was off and gone for the Porsche.
Apologies to Jordi, by the way. It was actually his teammate Martin Derlin who was the one that made contact, and it was Andrea Terzi who made contact with the DX Droids driver, with the Vargas Racing driver, whilst they were spinning out. So that's not ideal. There you can see him pulling into the pit lane. Speaking of Jordi Zveers, by the way, he's got by Zibi up into 8th place at the moment, but having to defend hard for that 8th place in GTE. 33rd overall, battling, racing hard up towards Les Combes.
Are you still running
the
though,
thing is with him
Ricardo?
at this moment is that he's battling as well with his ex-teammate. Oh, there's contact as well. There is contact as well, and I think that might be Alan Terzic off the road down in 10th place.
He was able to actually keep the car up there, but it is a hard battle that we see in the GTE category. Talking about GTE and missing parts, while the leading Jean Lacey car here,
This
right
is so
behind.
sick.
There should be the Project
What
1
is
car,
going on
which
there?
of Shara behind the wheel right now, cutting a bit. The BPM Ferrari 488 lost his rear wing as well, so Ermin Hamidovic will have a quick pit stop, just like Mikhail Sedlacek, to get a new rear wing on the car. That will cost a lot of time. But this fight here, Terzic, Zveers, Shara, and Martin Derland in the rear now with another Ferrari. That will go on for quite a while, I think. But we got Varga Sim Racing now driving down to Williams Esports here. No chance yet to get involved in any fight.
Well, they are on the run there.
In the
That's
LMP2 class. But it's nice to see that Williams Esports not able to run away early here.
Oh, this is on board. This is on board with Martin Derlin. And you can see Jordi Zveers. There's got Alan Terzic going around the outside. There's the Team Project 1. There's the contact. Don't know if that was a bit of a pinch or Alan Terzic being a little bit too optimistic, but it sent him round. They were all right. They're all running in line, and they're all still going.
Okay.
But still, some feisty racing down the
Never
back
mind,
end
just keep
of
going.
the top 10. As I was saying, between Jordi Zveers and Martin Derlin, who was Jean Lacey,
I'm taking it easy. I mean, I think I can do extra lap.
Of days ago. Alan Terzic is one of the drivers that they're battling with, which I'm sure causes a little bit of friction within the team. You never know.
Okay.
Spice and crack, isn't it?
Maybe you can pull in behind Castor and get pulled.
Like real life drama, right?
Oh,
People
yeah.
changing teams and contracts involved. So there's a huge world behind just the races that you see. So if you're really interested in everything that's going on in sim racing, then yeah, there's a ton of content to digest basically, and things going on. But I have to say, I fear that Washara in the Project 1 car clipping the BMW Works entry, which led to this mix-up between those Ferraris. But they're trying once again both John Lazy Ferraris alongside the Project 1 now. The Porsche has to let them go for now. Speaking of Shara, losing 2 positions to Swears and Durland.
Krank.
Well, he's still
Have you seen the straight line speed of the Ferraris?
Right after their overtaking, the Porsche is back on the rear diffuser of the Ferrari 488, maybe around the outside now. Martin Dillon trying to cover up the inside, but we see the BMW Works car already putting his nose in there as well, trying to get involved, flashing its light. So these guys, they will probably have action for the next 20 minutes if they keep going like that.
Oh, I think we've got action for a bit longer than 20 minutes between this lot. They are fighting so very hard. Literally for everything. This is those. So the oh, this is with. Yeah, that was a bit of a pinch.
Yeah, you probably only saw the Ferrari in his rearview mirror. And
I don't think he expected to be having an extra dive in there. So I don't think he was looking for Terzic. And no one has fallen foul to that, and everyone's okay. So in my book, let's just keep going. I'm curious though, because with Zviers and Dolan, who were fighting quite hard between the two of them, I believe it was those two who were fighting for effectively one of the final positions to be in the Le Mans virtual race for AF Corsa, because they were doing like their own little in-house races stuff. And Jordi made a move that I don't think he needed to make on Durlan, and that stopped Martin Durlan from actually being in the race. I think eventually things worked out, and Martin Durlan was eventually a part of the race, if I remember correctly. But regardless, you know, that's a bit of a bit of hard fighting between the two of them.
New best lap time for Rudy van Buren in the GTE class after he took the lead from Kevin Siggy. So the two Porsche 24 entries still dominating the GTE class early on, but hey, it's just 10 minutes that went past, while Project 1 still has to defend against the BMWs at the 30 or the 31. Quickly look that up. It is actually, I'll find it. I'm looking in the wrong class. It is the
number. That's a big crash! Oh my goodness me, Andrea Terzi. Oh, sorry to cut across you there. Did he hit the wall?
I think he didn't. I see the car. It still has a rear wing. That's a good start after you threw it away there. So the Wayframe Esports Ferraris, looks like all parts are still on it.
Yeah, Ferrari's super quick on the straight.
So down to 13th in class.
I don't think he hit the wall. He might have been close, but I don't think he did. That was a huge moment. This is on board with Andrea Terzi. Let's have ourselves a look. This is going to be terrifying. Too much curve. Oh, that's what sent him. Oh, he does hit the wall. Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, but better with the front end than trying that with the rear end. Absolutely. Because even if you have to pull in the pits, the car's probably way more stable than without the rear wing. So yeah. That will help. Well, we're back on board with Erhan Yayovsky, probably the guy that makes most bucks on rFactor 2, I would say, now. Very successful lately with his
It'll be interesting to see what happens.
And he's chasing Jan van der Heide, one of the Sancho drivers that this time is racing with the Rocket team.
What's your gap to behind?
So that means they will later have Jensen Button behind the wheel. That's also his livery. If you're watching British Touring Car, not British Touring Car, British GT Championship, then you should be familiar with that livery.
Yeah, it's a great team.
You're coming up to the GTE's first time?
Between Sancho and JTR. One that's been in the works for a little while, and it looks like it's coming
to fruition. I've already
working together
lapped
well.
one and lost
Le Mans Virtual.
Some time.
Hyder was a member of that partnership, and, a big part of it as well. Looking pretty strong here. Jensen Button as well was mighty fast in other endurance stuff that I've seen him do. He was pretty quick in the practice build-up to the Le Mans Virtual, so he's no slouch in, as you'd expect, in this, as the Forzilla car nearly gets caught out there by one of the Ferraris. And this is the important bit with endurance racing, only 10 minutes in, and we are starting to hit little bits of traffic, just the slight pockets, but those pockets will be getting bigger and bigger as we close in on the front of the GTE field.
I absolutely love that. That's why I love multi-class, because there's action all over the track. And This is one move for Esports, and we got reported that they probably had a few issues as they were dropping on power here on the straight. Look at that. All of a sudden, the car becomes a lot slower, getting overtaken by, that was Scuderia Leone on the left side, the Ferrari just passed. Did they run with qualification fuel?
Well, I mean, you're asking the right person when it comes to running out fuel and endurance racing.
I just ran out of fuel in another event.
I am a master of it. As to that, not 100% sure myself. Could be a potential, pedal issue or anything like that. But it's a bit of a shame. The qualifying fuel, it could very much be a part of it. But even then, running a 13-minute tank in quali, or 10,
that's not qualifying issue. There is something different.
But it does sound.
Oh
important.
God! What
a
nonsense, really.
As much as we're only 15 minutes in the race, the important thing to note with the LMP2s is they've got the shortest, they've got the smallest tank of the two categories that they've got here. So their stints are going to be shorter. We're expecting them to last maybe 35, 40 minutes. It's quite a high
what a joke.
Usage.
There is a chance to extend that to 45 minutes, but then you
really
lose pace. And I guess we both
driving. Again,
a 3-hour sprint race in terms
I'm
of
just
the
getting
strategies
this. I've already lost.
It's where strategy is going to be
two
absolutely
places
because
of
this way, right? If you run
GTs in the wrong.
If you run 40-minute stints
at the wrong sections of the track,
minutes, then 1 hour and 20, then 2 hours, then 2 hours 40. Then you got
and another one.
If you can find a way of maybe even extending it to 45, that's a bit extreme, but you're trying to make that splash at the end.
Just try to stay close. We're going to be fine.
To be fair, if you are costing yourself time, look at how long the pit lane is around Spa. It's a long pit lane on this endurance format. So if you could save yourself a pit stop, that could be gold coming to the checkered flag. Look at the likes of Brzezinski and Cinczyk, though, who have pulled away from Jurnej Simoncic at quite a rapid rate, 4 and a bit seconds already, as we're deep in the traffic there. My goodness me, I think Jovski, you've got by von der Heide, didn't really need to send it too much on the BMW there.
I just love those pictures, really. I adore multi-class racing just for that. That you have, as a driver, not just have to handle your own pace and people in similar cars and similar paces, but also cars that are completely different in terms of braking and the lines they're taking and acceleration and how much grip they actually produce, because obviously the LMP2 Orekas, they're aerodynamic, very aerodynamic having cars. And they're doing well while we see Forza versus GRT racing. GTR, by the way, is correct. With Jan von der Heide in 5th. But it seems like Pablo Lopez, he can't go that speed of Jan von der Heide at the moment, and they're going through traffic while also fighting each other. Now passing one of the BMW works entries and coming around this left-hander 90 degrees. There's a slight stretch, and then you get that very long left-hander 180 degrees, and you want to be as quick as possible, but the GTE traffic here is completely different in terms of line.
It's incredibly thick as well. You've got, obviously in practice they've been trying to work out and trying to keep with it as much as possible. With learning with traffic, and so they know how to do it in the race. But even still, when you get to the first ones in the race, they're always in much bigger packs, because when you're doing it in practice, you're coming across 1 or 2 drivers. When you're doing it in the race, you end up coming across the entire pack in one sort of single stream. Yellow flag back out in sector 1, not quite sure what that was for. Saw Borja Milan and Yuri Kazdorp as well, switching positions just behind this in 7th and 8th position, as Borja Milan is trying to defend off from the tall Dutchman. I think they're running towards Blanchimont now, and it was very close for an attempted move there from Yuri Kazdorp, but didn't do it.
What do you mean there, Altamont?
It was a good defense, by the way, from Jan von der Heide, must be said, of Jetta Team Rocket Zancho, as basically just timed his run around the outside on the final part of Le Combe, like basically to perfection. He did it very, very nicely. On board with Adam Maguire, I think he is the Super League champion of 2020 in GPWC. Certainly a strong driver, defending from Timotej Andonovski, who got his maiden podium in the Virtual Endurance Championship in this car a few weeks ago.
Yeah, definitely. Drillers Esports making a lot of noises lately in the world of rFactor 2, which I absolutely love. They're big on social media. They're pushing a lot of good drivers here. Now they're in this fight for position 15 and 16 against Pescara ATP Autoteiler. That's actually a German company sponsoring these guys. On the straight now, he can obviously use that slipstream. There might be a chance for the inside. No, Maguire trying to cover that, but he still needs to pass before smashing it into the wall so early on in the race here. Very unfortunate for Andonovski. Oh, that was probably a bit too much risk there next to the Ferrari.
Yeah, sorry, I have to correct myself on the thing. I said Antonovsky was in this car. It was actually in a different car. It was in the centre. But regardless, still a very strong driver. That was not a pretty squeeze, it must be said, from Maguire. And I don't think
very nice said
Antonovsky
indeed.
will be particularly happy with the outcome of that event. Obviously, still try and keep going. I'm just curious and a bit fearful of how much damage is going to be on that car, because it was a fast hit into the barrier.
It definitely was. I mean, I was actually more afraid of the Ferrari there. I was pretty sure they were just bumping away, but then it was the Driller Esports LMP2 that got over-rotated and then smashed into the wall. And like I said, that early on in the race, let's see where they actually drop to. I'm currently trying to fight them. They're on 17th right now, running in front of Axel Sports and DX Droids. That's Hakimi and Fernandez right behind them. But they seem to be a lot slower than the cars in the back. What we see is Stefanko against Aslan here. And Aslan on the inside, great move, but there might be a chance for a return for Marla Racing Team here. Aslan was shooting the corner and then nearly blocking the Porsche 24 911 there. Wow, it's a ton of action everywhere we're looking right now.
Oh my god. I would have shat myself on that GTE.
Just action left, right, and centre. Whoa, look at that. Oh my goodness me, that is terrifying there. On board with Martin Derlin as we see some three right
I
ahead.
see burst
Devin
car.
Browner in the Nita Velix Cetra's car, who scooted through first. And oh my goodness, what a lap for Martin Derlin, getting passed by everyone of the LMP2.
Did you actually overtake two cars on the camel?
No, I've already lost it.
He'd be sat there shaking his head.
This,
Can this not happen today?
It's one of the worst races
that was probably a ton of action for him. That's
I've
for sure.
ever driven.
For Martin Dillon there in the GTE category. Borja Milan
keep your head down. Which position we're in?
Know each other from the GT Pro Series and several other rFactor 2 events. So that's not the first dance they're having. But it might be one of the biggest now. We see with the long shadows already, and sometimes when the trees are a bit closer, you see those long shadows because sun is coming down right now here at Spa. Said that before, we will race into the night. So it's not just the changing track conditions regarding grip level and multi-class traffic. Obviously, there will also be different.
Also, we will race into the night. I've just heard.
Better not do the old school way of sim racing, breaking points. Like I'll break after the shadow, because that will not work with everything changing tonight.
So relatable.
Yes, we all did
that so much.
We all
especially
did that.
If you get in the car, like like I say, in that if you're not starting the race, because if you're starting the race and it's starting to set, you adjust your braking zone as the race goes on. So you kind of like, that's not there now. So you kind of work as you go along. Whereas if you're just thrown into it and your only practice has been in bright sunshine like this, even if you're just using normal brake markers, it might be lit. Obviously, because there's no sun, it's lit up differently. Whether there is a light on it or not, it's different. And maybe you don't quite pick up that was your brake marker that you've just flown by, 270k.
It is a different kind of challenge if you are in these changing environments, and it will look lovely once the sun comes down. I mean, it will look lovely for us, not that great for the drivers though. The sun right in their faces basically. But yeah, it's part of being a racing driver. And just quickly check the top three. So top three on LMP2 are still the same as we started. Williams Esports Chill Blast in front of Varga Sim Racing, and then Bikerless Burst Esports.
Ricardo, I think there is not really a lot of cars without any damage out there.
Engineering. So we'll be interested
regardless,
to see,
though,
though,
as you've heard, Dawid is moaning about the race being
if they are on
not
the
very
same
nice.
level, because with driver swaps in here, sometimes you see lineups with completely different drivers on them, and that can mix up the field quite a lot.
Absolutely, yeah. You're only as the rule there to the championship, where you're only as strong as your weakest link. You're only as quick as your slowest driver in a sense, and so it's all about working as a team to get through the race in the fastest way possible. And in that sense, we do see some teams that are really, really strong now may not be strong when it comes later in the race, because you put in a different driver, maybe even your pro driver.
For
some teams.
See Project One versus DX Droid here. That is 8th position, and seems like both will go off into the
issues.
wall. I'm quite surprised though. Where's this car coming from? There's David Scherer that got involved with, speaking of Scherer, but he wasn't listed at that position at that moment. That's what confuses me that much. But he must have won a lot of positions, but Shara definitely not happy about the BMW squeezing in there, and then both probably clinching to each other, going into the wall. Hopefully there's not that much damage to both of them, because they let the BMW run away there. That was the second BMW Works entry. Well, we have that once again here in the replay.
Let's have a look. So there's the DX Droids car, sort of sending it down the inside into Lakecom, and then on the exit of the corner. Oh, that is naughty. That's very, very naughty
Wow.
from Zibby. Don't like that. I know, I get it if the DX Droids driver had sent it at Lakecom, but that...
Wow,
Oh,
did
I
he
get the
just
feeling that
turn
Jimmy
into
Allison
him?
may well be on his case about that one, because that was... Oh, yeah, no, I don't like to see that.
I wonder if that was
I
really
think-
on... I have to say, it looks on purpose. That's the bad thing here, but we know that a million
Yeah.
things can happen, but...
Contact could be a part of it, etc. Yeah. Like you know, like the way you move under when you're contacted. Like maybe you've just been touched a little bit, and it doesn't look good though.
It depends on if he was losing traction in the rear there or not.
Oh yeah.
Because we obviously can't see that from here. First, I really have to say, it looks a bit like he let the car run wide on purpose, but I also was on the other side already being the driver, and everyone said, oh, that was on purpose, and I was like, hey, look at that replay, I did everything I could, but it didn't work out anymore. So you never know with this, so we'll wait for rFactor to look at that. You can obviously see all the inputs, and then decide on
We're
that.
gonna get
While
drive-through soon.
with LM2 in the BMW,
How many cuts?
hunting down John
Three.
Sports with Jordy
Okay.
Swears behind the wheel. And then it's the second John Lazy car right behind that BMW. So basically, John Lazy sandwich here for a 7, 8, and 9.
Absolutely. It's
What's the
like
limit?
I say, these
4?
have all been teammates. Pretty
4 is the
recently. They
last
all
one,
still
that's
are
3.
Teammates because
Okay.
Alan Terzic will still continue to drive the John Lacey Esports.
Yeah,
over
it's
the
just
final
not the
2
most
rounds of the
clean
GT
race,
Challenge
Ricardo, I
Series.
agree.
So they'll still be, you know, racing together and being a part of each other, and you know, whatever. That. But in this, gloves are off. Must say, Timotej Antonovsky has retired from the race for Drillers Esports, so I think that damage might have been a little bit too much. So he'll drop his way down the order. Also, a big shout out to Lazarus Filiparkos, who is in the race, driving the Speedy Mike. Picked up a drive-through penalty, but it is a reminder to everyone that just because you're on a controller and you don't have a wheel, you can still take part in events like this, because he is Lord Controller Boy of the sim racing world. Driving, and to be fair, 24th position in category is not really a fair position for him, because he is mighty fast even on a controller, and
Das ist nicht
I
zu
think-
fassen.
I think his pace shows you can fight decently well
Das ist nicht zu fassen.
on a controller regardless.
It
That's
is
not work,
fine.
though.
Nicht zu fassen.
Let's be honest here, being able to run that pace on a controller, I couldn't do that. I mean, I couldn't probably even go through the main menu with a controller, besides racing with it. But this is now Terzic finally getting a shot at Jordy Swears. See if the M8 GTE can actually make a move. Lost a bit of speed out of that chicane there. Already getting the momentum onto that straight, and we see how crucial
Enjoy,
that is. The
Altamont.
Ferrari
See you
really
there in a
good
minute.
with Rear traction, obviously having the engine in the back against the BMW, which has the engine in the front. So completely different platforms fighting against each other, which is the great thing about GTE and GT3 cars.
Or Rudy Van Buren and Kevin Ziggy have switched positions, by the way, and they're still continuing to battle at the front end of this field. They've just switched back. HME Ferris Stanley is not far off the back, and that Corvette is pretty sharp in a straight line. I must say, in this battle, where we've got a lot of GT Challenge drivers, effectively, because there's 5 in a row. You've got Dan Kell, Jordi Swears, Alan Terzic, Derlin, Mohamed Patel, who I don't actually think is doing GT Challenge anymore, but he's still done a little bit of the season. All of them GT Challenge drivers. Big shout out to Dan Kell at the front of that lot, considering where he is normally with the GT Challenge drivers. He's sort of there or thereabouts, but he's now ahead of all of them, doing pretty well in a car that he's getting a bit familiar with his racing in the virtual
So,
Enduro
we
Championship.
already
So,
got 3
bit by
cuts
bit,
then.
learning as he's going.
I mean, it just shows how big the skill is even in the GT Challenge Series, which is the feeder series for the big rFactor 2 GT Pro Series. You can only make it to the Pro Series if you actually be the front and grid 1 in the Challenge Series. And Challenge Series
So I think
is an amazing
Kastorp
grid to
is,
watch
yes,
while we see
bye-bye.
Kastorp now against the Fortzilla, Pablo
Kastorp's
Lopez.
race pace is awesome
easy
again.
move here on the straight. Is there a chance for Forza to maybe come back to that? But is that Porsche Milan also coming very close on the braking now, trying to get involved into this fight here?
And the battle for the race lead in LMP2 as well was Brzezinski's defending from Marcel Chinchik. Vargas Sim Racing very much a part of this.
Could they show like the entire LMP2 standing for once?
And it has been throughout the entire race, by the way.
Would
but
be lovely.
They're a good 4.5 seconds clear of Yone Simic. Now, I've brought this up before. Is that if you're, maybe new on the scene in rFactor 2, or you've raced a little bit, etc., and you're pulling away, over half an hour, 5-6 seconds ahead of Yone Simic, I'm asking myself one question: here's the move between Siggy and Rudy Van Buren. So Siggy got through, and then I'm assuming Van Buren repassed him because it is Van Buren who is leading in the GT category. But if you're pulling away from Yone Simic, I'd ask myself one question: what am I doing wrong? Because we know how strong Yone Simic is, and I'd be like, oh, maybe he's saving more fuel. Maybe he's thinking I can maybe save myself a pit stop. And that's the concern at the moment, is that once the race has started and once you've done a few laps, you're already locked into whatever strategy you're running, because in a 3-hour race, you can't afford to change strategy. There's no room for it. There's no wiggle room.
Yeah, that's the big issue. I mean, when we're talking about 24 hours and even the 12-hour races, right, there might be something happening during the race, changing your strategy.
Let's see what happens now.
The pit stop. You had to switch on
Chinchik
tire that
could
might
be
have
close
lost
enough.
or rear wing, right? Things happen, but in the 3-hour race, it's still about strategy, but you have to commit to it from the get-go. And after that, there's absolutely nothing for you to do anymore. If it doesn't work out because you did a mistake or lost a rear wing, then yeah, not much for you to do to actually win that back and get back into your strategy window.
This is not the same replay, by the way. Getting that note from broadcast director Ruben Carrera-Alvarez. That was not the same replay. So they've switched positions on one lap, they've switched positions back on the next one. Now the thing is with that, with them working together, with them fighting hard, is they're effectively using the slipstream to gain even more speed, because they're not losing out by doing that, because no one's lifting to let the other one through. They're full throttle at all times, which adds up to the same kind of lap time, but they're slipstreaming past each other and constantly switching.
I kinda have issues to understand why Vargas Sim Racing is not able to pull by. Either they saving fuel like mad.
Are a massively strong outfit. How they will be after a driver swap, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, we now have two of the strongest rFactor 2 drivers in the world, I would say. Kevin Siggy, currently not in the lead of GT Pro, but he's also the only BMW entry against basically a grid full of Corvette GT3s, and he's still able to bring that BMW onto the podium, into the top 5 every single time, no matter the track we're visiting. So he is one of the best in the world, and Rudy Van Buren, who basically turned his sim racing career and karting into real life racing and also dominating still in sim racing. So these two guys, not surprising that they lead, but can their teammates actually live up to the pace that these two are going right now? Because not many people can.
Those two have a certain attribute that does not apply to many drivers, which is regardless of simulator, of car they're in, whether it's endurance racing, sprint racing, doesn't matter. They are always fast. They are always towards the front. They're always on the very limit. And that doesn't apply to many drivers, because some drivers are only really fast in, so for example, the content we have here, but you put them in something else and they're maybe not so fast. I think we're going to have a change for the race lead, by the way, because just walked a little bit through traffic. I think Kuba Brzezinski is under an awful lot of pressure from Marcel Chinchik up towards Les Combes. Oh, it's not going to be enough for Chinchik. Going to have to get back in line. Was not far enough alongside. That was quite well judged there from Kuba Brzezinski, because he sort of lifted out before he got to the GT.
Wow.
And then went for it.
Yeah, I love that. He's already in the lead for 16 laps now. Would have thought with all the slipstream available that Vargas Sim Racing will find a way to at least be in the lead once. But so far, Kuba Brzezinski complete control of this 3-hour start and the first half an hour that now passed. So good job there by Williams Esports Chilbass, that's for sure. Also by Vargas to being able to chase that closely without.
Some of these GTs should not be allowed to even race.
A reminder that Brzezinski and Wisniewski were part of the lineup alongside Rebellion that ended up winning the Le Mans Virtual, so they know how to win at the very top level in this car. And this is what we love. It's a fun event, but how strong the teams are. And yes, with the two races that we had before this, the two build-up races, were a little bit, you know, a little bit messy, a little bit dicey, a little bit dirty. This has not been. This has been very, very good so far in the opening half hour, and I think it is set to continue. We are closing in, though, on the area where we're expecting to see those LMP2 pit stops. I was told it was maybe between 17, 18, 19 laps.
I thought he goes white for a second.
A very high fuel circuit around here. You're on throttle for so long. It's such a high-speed track. So we're expecting some pit stops now, and that is where the race is going to really light up in the PT category.
Yeah, it will be. We're back with Stefanko and Aslan. These two, were basically fighting for the last 15 minutes. And now that they hit heavy traffic once again, we all know how it is. So you really have to strategize your approach to get through these cars. Like, which corner do you really want to run into them? Where do you want to make a move? You don't want to squeeze them. We saw how that ended up with the Driller Esports LMP2 being shut down, basically, after squeezing through a Ferrari 488. So it is a lot for a driver to get accustomed to and to work out, to really be quick on such a race.
Chinchik is on a run now.
So many challenges along the way.
Just seeing, by the way, posted in
can't
chat.
throw it up the inside.
Good
luck for that, Ricardo, but I think they have fixed that issue, so you will remain the damage.
The main thing.
As far as I'm aware.
Not here because you mixed up times. That is easily done. I thought it started an hour later, and I think we can all collectively say in sim racing that we have been there probably once or twice.
Pretty sure about that one. I mean, everyone out there.
I think I've shown up once a day early to a race. That was very good. I showed up and I was like, when are we getting racing? That was tomorrow. I was like, oh.
Really?
Yeah.
I managed once to show up at university on Sunday.
Oh, nice.
I'm
Very
so
good.
confused.
I do always hope that I have that when I go into work, that I'll go in and oh, you're not working today. Oh,
better you go on Sunday than you end up with starting a week on Tuesday. You have to explain where you had been before.
Exactly. By the way, whilst we're in traffic and whilst tyres are wearing and stuff like that, of course, you know, maybe some will double stint and stuff with the pit stops and stuff. The lap times have absolutely fallen off a cliff, as we'd expect. In LMP2, Brzezinski and Chinchik both in
Brzezinski, Chinchik, box.
On the previous lap, bearing in mind the fast laps of the race are 2:01.0s. Interesting they're coming in that early. By Coles Burst Esports to the lead of the race, then they were closing in that gap on Williams Esports, Tilblast and Varga. JTR Esports, RHG Esports, all in Fordzilla. Oh,
wow,
Rene,
nearly everyone in pits.
Yeah, everyone in
yeah,
pits.
it is super busy pit lane, but it also shows now the differences in strategies with RHG Esports and Bicycle still being out there, not pulling into the pits at the same time. That will be very, very interesting. We need to remind ourselves of these cars later on then, because that is a major difference when we run towards the end of this 3-hour race.
Huge difference, absolutely huge. The thing is if you're coming in for a splash and dash, it may not make too much of a difference when you're pitting, and I'll get into that the later we get into the splash and dash. So don't panic. The thing is with pitting this early, it is an interesting call, but you know, maybe it'll work out, because a 40-minute stint in a 3-hour race is a really awkward number because it doesn't fit in to a 3-hour strategy. If the race was an hour longer, if it was a 4-hour race, then you'd be seeing them all pitting at 40 minutes because it works in that environment. But a 3-hour race this is why it's perfect. It's because it's just awkward enough that it causes people to think outside the box. So pitting this early may work. Going longer may work. We will only find out in about 2 hours and 24 minutes. Maybe if we're smart, 2 hours and 20.
Yeah, we can figure out priority.
Brzezinski penalty.
Penalty, Brzezinski.
Brzezinski, that'll be pit lane, that'll be speeding, and our previous race leader.
What happened?
Oh, they have jumped
I guess
massively
speeding.
on. That must have been a huge penalty.
Kastorp,
as well.
speeding.
Sports picking one up. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
That was just the first time that I had to actually pull into the pits. With that, probably throwing away the lead here, for at least for now, for Williams Esports Chillblast after all the pits. So obviously they're currently not in the lead yet, 10th coming out of the pits, but that will be huge for both of them, especially also Yuri Kastorp there picking up another one. Let's see if we actually get that in the replay. That is Jakub Brzezinski coming out of the pits. Yeah, he's done with his pit stop already. It's a very, very long pit lane,
There
obviously.
are a few lines.
On the left, that is pit exit. Here you can go. So what happened there?
He must have sped.
Has he overshot this one?
No. I think he must have sped coming into pit lane. I don't know.
Wow, it's like no fun at all.
Never mind. Keep going. Make sure to not speed in pits.
What is it?
You can speed coming downhill. If
Yeah,
you're
no
off
worries.
throttle, this is something that I saw Sancho
you're not running
test.
into the limiter then.
This is something that Sancho tested, and I remember seeing it. They are not running into the limiter coming down the hill because they need to be on throttle. If I have got a driver, if I'm a GT team manager right now, I am reminding my drivers, be on throttle coming down the hill.
Yeah, it makes total sense. Obviously, such a limiter is always limited to the reps you go in, and you can't really do that out of gear. So car needs to be in gear.
Dimmy also told me that they have
RAG was 40
km/h
seconds.
pit entry, so it'll be.
That's quite
I was
crazy.
32.
I saw them pulling in, and I was wondering why Williams was so much quicker and better with braking into
Says
the
it's
pit
still
lane than the
stationary.
Varga sim racing car. But
48
no, it explains
says.
because the
Oh,
Varga
never
sim
mind.
racing car actually had the right
They are
speed,
probably just changing
limit
tires.
when they went over the line while the
Who?
Williams car was shot it.
I still think it explains
RAG.
the other drive-throughs because there's still been
Are they?
plenty. I don't think
I
everyone's
mean,
been pit lane, although
you
it's
just said
quite
that
tricky
they were
pit entry.
stationary
It's very,
for
very
40
narrow.
seconds.
I remember.
Yeah, you were
the
stationary for
season
48
version
seconds the
of
lifetime you
Kieran
say, so I
Parker,
guess it's broken.
Driving the car that Jimmy
Oh,
Broadbent
right, yep.
drove that season. Ended up going into pit lane and turned in a little bit too early and did the classic Austin Powers on the pit lane entry as he went to 90 degrees perfectly in the pit lane entry and couldn't move. It was amazing. Here we go then. We can see what's going on. You can see the speed. I wish I could draw on the screen, but it's just on the top right of the steering wheel, or bottom right of the steering wheel. 150. Boom. There we go. 150.
Speed cameras right at Spa, catching that. Yeah, that was way too late to get down to the 60 there. And yeah, that's how you make it a bit more exciting for yourself because you're not in the lead anymore after the pit stops.
Shit.
So that is something
That
to keep
is
in mind.
a
Maybe we should
massive
update people out
stop and
there
go
a bit
penalty.
regarding some of the, like we were talking a lot about the big sim racing teams because mostly they are very successful in the first 40 minutes by now, but let's quickly look at the real-life entries that we have.
Ricardo, just a little
GTR
bit
Esport,
faster than
which
I
is the
was
team
in
of
my
Jensen
event 2
Button
weeks ago.
from the British Championship. Currently in 5th with Jan van der Heijden, so there's a sim racer behind the wheel for them right now. I think they did not... No, they pitted so far. Yep, they are, so that's 5th after the first round of pit stops for them. Let's quickly look which car was the one of Andy Priaulx.
The Sancho. Oh, see, it's Prio Racing, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, it should be. That's why I'm currently looking for them. Where they are.
Ibrahim Khan is behind the wheel at the moment. They're in 14th at the moment, Prio Esports.
Oh yeah, I see them. Yep, there we go. Also after pit stops, so they started 13th, they lost one position then, 14th. So Andy Priaulx and his son Sebastian Priaulx together with Ibrahim Khan. That's another big name there. Let's see. And I mean, Porsche 24 is a real entry. They have real life drivers as well. Rudy van Buren and Kevin Siggy are behind the wheel currently there. Although I have to say,
61,
Kevin Siggy
62, 63. Oh my goodness! There you go. Look
Is
at
he
that
too
on the
quick?
replay. Yeah, way too quick.
Oh, he really tried to be quick. He tried. I have to say though, you saw that now in that replay, we saw this basically doubled up endurance pit lane. And on my very first real life race at Spa, I did the same mistake. Luckily, no one saw it. So I went out of the first pit, got around Las Orzas. I was sitting in a Porsche Cayman with GT4 kit. And I speed down, and then that moment I realized, wait, I can't leave the pits here. There's another pit lane coming up. And I had like 100 whatever already on the speedo. And then I had to brake really, really hard right in front of one of the officials there. And I was like, hopefully no one saw that because that was qualification session.
Well,
and guess what? I got away without a penalty.
It's one of the things, like in real life, in general, and in some other simulators and stuff, a lot of places you have your pit lane done on timing loops. It's not like an overall speed in the pit lane. It's well, I guess it is in a sense, but you have timing loops. So it's every such and such, like every 20 meters, you have a timing loop, and you need to be under this time within that period, etc. So it's very boring. The thing is, though, in something like rFactor 2 and in a lot of what is becoming modern motorsport, it's not done on timing loops because it's an easy way of doing it. It's done on just whatever speed you hit. So if you go over 60 in this scenario, regardless of how much you slam on the brakes, how much slower than 60 you go, you're getting a penalty.
Yes.
Because you've passed that point, you've passed that threshold.
Well, it was quite interesting. Also saw someone asking in the chat, I'm trying to have a quick look every now and then in the chat, the update on the second Porsche 24 entry with Kevin Siggy, who's without a rear wing in the pits right now. That's why he dropped that half, because I saw him on 9th and I was really surprised he's now already down to 19th. So I'm really surprised what happened there. Maybe we can catch that in a replay, because they obviously Porsche 24 were in first and second previously. Also, the Speedy Might Racing LMP2 currently listed 35th
big damage.
overall.
It's big damage. It is done, and that is on the racing line as well. I think Jimmy Allison might just pull a code 60 here if he can do so, because that is dodgy, and it's right in the middle of traffic as well, coming through Poo on 37th place. They're currently running as we see the battle for 6th. We're actually about to come up to that Speedy Mike car. He's just on
We are coming to a code 80 in 10 seconds. Remember, that's pit limiter. That's in 5,
coming to a code
4,
in 10
3,
seconds. Remember, that's
2,
pit limiter.
1. Code 80 enforced.
Five,
First code 80.
4,
Code 80.
3, 2, 1. Code 80 enforced.
All right, it is probably due to exactly this car we have on camera right now, the Speedy Mike Racing with Filipakos, because it is in the way of everyone, basically. I mean, even under 80, it seems to be a real problem to keep a car on the track.
He is currently 90 degrees left-hand lock.
Yeah.
Trying to look at that, and he's on the controller as well. So big shout out. That's pretty impressive. Let's see how he did that. Oh no, this is with Kevin Siggy. Ooh, right. So he's got the Scuderia Chicken House car ahead. Takes a little bit too much grass. Maybe he's a little bit too aggressive here. Oh, there's an LMP2 Fortilla. There we go. That was a bit.
Hard one to judge.
I'm not sure if that was Fordzilla's to blame or whether it was Siggy drifting up on the racetrack. It was a little bit touch and go going around the outside there, but.
It's always hard with cars with such different speeds, especially on those high-speed corners. And to also have the overview, then you might think, oh, they're not going for it, and then all of a sudden the car's there already. So that was very unfortunate for Kevin Siggy. He wanted to pass.
I think all the penalty guys may now take the penalty while code 80.
Darker, that's the darker. What was that? Is that the?
Where are you right now?
It is indeed, yeah.
Yes,
I'm just
they wanted to pass, and very unfortunate for Kevin Siggy. Definitely a car
beginning
that
of
we
that
expected
back
to run
straight.
for the not overall win, but run for the win in GTE.
Look at P6. Oh, this is the interesting bit. Is drivers, because we're under a code 80, which is actually a code 60 because we're 60 kilometers now, not 80. The interesting thing is drivers that haven't pitted yet, so in the GTE category, a lot of drivers are yet to pit. Jean Lacey Esports Academy, one of their cars has already been into the
Ricardo,
pit lane
is that the
to take
case?
That
is important because Williams Esports is in the pit.
Because there's a lot of drivers, by the way, coming in the GT category. You can see them. It's an interesting call because, yes, you save on this stop, but you end up having to make another stop because the pit lane, Jordy's veers with a penalty. You end up having to make another stop because the tank for a GTE is an hour long, and it's a 3-hour race.
And we're coming back to green in 10 seconds.
A good 15 minutes. Is it the smartest move?
That's in 5, 4,
it will be interesting
3,
now that they
2,
actually come back and we see
1,
that the
green flag.
DX BMW is still in. Eurocastup coming in. We hear the countdown to go back to race pace. So it is currently Chinchik for Varga Sim Racing now leading the overall category in front of Bikerless Burst Esport and then RAG Esports. And then now on 4th, since they won one position, is Jan van der Heide and the JTR Esports team with Jensen Button. So they're coming closer to the top 3.
There is a code of conduct.
Good.
For now, but we still have
Cut them.
over 2 hours to go.
Say again?
Quite a lot of racing action.
I
still
just
to come.
overtook them.
Okay,
And
great.
the GTE, I would say it's open now again because we don't know
Right.
yet how quick Rudy van Buren's teammate will be, right? So Ferry Stanley of
Okay.
HM Engineering is still
I-
close to the car.
I don't know what
There's
happened,
not much between
but
them, the Corvette GTE. So we
But
might see a new
they've been,
fight
like,
there for the
gained
lead of GTE
5
once we get the
seconds
drivers
now?
race.
I will say those penalties from
Yeah, probably
Kuba
due to
Brzezinski
location
and
of the
Yuri
restart,
Kasdorf
I have no
are
idea.
so costly because even though they served part of them under the code 80,
As you know,
Kuba Brzezinski
we
is now, he had a stop
are
because
not
of how
allowed
fast
to
his
sit
speed
on the
was.
servers
He
to
is
check.
down in 16th place. Yuri Kasdorf 19th. Those are massive penalties in such a short race. You can't come back from that, really.
It will be very hard. I mean, you can have a sort of a comeback, but really going for the win, that's not really.
So, code
not
of
really
conduct.
happening. Well, that was close.
That's where Philip Arkos had his crash, yeah, and coming through on that. Phew.
Oh, once again, the Chinchik Volvaga going through Project 1 and the John Alesi Ferrari at the same time. Look at that. That's right in front of Terzic here, where we're on board with. It's still, speaking of Shara, he's now losing out against the John Alesi Ferrari. And with that, getting hunted down with the BMW M8 up next.
So it wasn't Jordi who
penalties will be
pitted then.
applied
It was-
by the current game.
Whoa, that was divey. Inside, maybe made that one work. No, actually, no, maybe Jordi did pit. In the front. I think a lot of drivers have been into the pit lane, so potentially Jordi was one of them. Actually, based on where he's moved position-wise last few laps, that is absolutely the case. So already been into the pit lane to serve his first stop, running through Region Radion.
Full course
Again,
caution.
bit of a moment there from Shara, and there's the position gone to
Rule
Alan Terzic.
15.
Seems like the Porsche
Drivers are
really
not
off pace
allowed
by
to
now.
serve
Look at
any
that straight line
penalties
speed.
during a code 80
So the
period.
BMW way quicker here.
Copy.
That is Jan van der Heijden now with the LMP2 Orica in the background of these GTs. So he has
Bear
to go
with me real
through
quick.
them next. See what happens.
I'm back.
What a broadcast director. That's lovely. It changed the slow-mo feature, the slow-mo button in the controls. Just change the name of that to the Ruben Carrera Alves button.
Yeah, but if
Thank you,
if we do
Ricardo.
that, there's a huge problem because then someone will ask for the mute button to be renamed to my name.
That's true.
Because I'm the one that muted himself on the broadcast. So yeah, I'm not sure if we want to do that. After that, people not watching our broadcast can't even navigate through rFactor 2 anymore because every button will be named after someone.
Oh, I mean, yeah, it'd make things interesting. Oh, speaking of making things interesting, Fordzilla trying to get back on it and coming back through the order. Oh, that's nearly a bit of a squeeze there from Pablo Lopez on Maximilian Dent.
Yeah, Maximilian, a really good driver coming new into, let's say, mainstream sim racing, I would say. Someone that was hanging around the racing environment for quite a long time. Really talented driver. But I think he's lacking a bit of experience on these multi-class racing environments, at least right now. But I also have to say I didn't watch all the events. And look at how busy it is once again on Calm Straight. There are cars everywhere. Porsche Milan
Yuri, another
right
penalty?
in front of Martin Stefanko.
Say again?
In front of them
Yuri
there,
Kasdorf,
that
another
is, Jan
penalty, I
van der
think.
Heijden.
Yeah, I think they
Sorry,
may
did I
get
see Yuri
penalised now
Kasdorf
for
got
serving their
another
penalty
in
under
in
code
the
80.
top left of my screen. I think I did. It's been naughty, but that's a lovely cutback, by the way.
Unless he- yeah, Brzezinski as well.
And Kuba, wow.
Yeah.
Well.
They both get it again.
They got by Borja Milan on what we just saw and up into 6th place. And I think Kuba Brzezinski has another penalty.
And they're really trying to gather a lot of them now. It's like it's not like you win more with more penalties. Just to make that clear.
Rule, here we go. Jimmy Allison on the case. Rule 15.11. Drivers are not allowed to serve any penalties under the Code 80 period. Now, the interesting thing with that is that they'd already...
wow.
They haven't served all of their penalty under the Code 80, right? So
that is a huge one.
They were still in the pit lane when the race had restarted. So that cost them
Ricardo,
time.
I'm not sure if Lopez had a penalty.
Cost, because now they've just been cost even more time than they would have done if they'd have just taken the penalty under green flag racing. So it's effectively, it is the penalties being reapplied, and then the extra bonus of having a naughty ball penalty on top of that. Oh my goodness me! That is
especially with
hard.
such a long pit lane.
Yeah,
that's the big thing here, right? It costs you a lot of time at Spa if you have to run through the pit lane again. We saw that on one of the onboards. It's the double one here for the endurance layout. We'll be on board with the Marla Racing team, starting a new lap. By the way, which lap are we actually on? Is that... Let me quickly check it, because we had the first pit stops around 16, 17. We're now on lap 25 for the leading Vargas Racing car, but Stefanko now with the attack against Borja Milan around the outside. Milan trying to cover up the inside. Does that actually work? No, Stefanko stepping back under braking, doesn't really want to risk being too late into that corner. Overshooting it because there's obviously a car following behind that Waveframe Esports Ferrari. So he has to be aware of that as well. But it was a first sign, I would say, towards Borja Milan here.
Absolutely, he could definitely get through. I think Nikita Aslan just ran a little bit wide at the corner with no name. You were saying about with Maximilian Den, by the way, about coming up and maybe not doing too much endurance racing and or multi-class racing rather. Sorry. The thing with that is, and it is the sort of like the only bit of advice that you can give to someone who's new to multi-class racing is Mohammed Patel's going to get down the inside of Yamazaki, going down to Rivage. Nice move, pretty easily done on the exit of Lecom. The only bit of advice that I can give is the only way to get better at multi-class racing is to do it. There is no other way, because it's not something you can practice realistically. You can do your little bits, but like I said earlier, is when you come across, if you're in like a higher class, when you come across a car in practice, you're coming across one, maybe two, whereas in the race, you come across battle packs.
Lopez has sped in pit lane due to a malfunction of the button.
You can't learn from practice.
Therefore, they should
sort of
drop behind us as well.
The better you'll be.
Definitely, it's also your
Lopez sits in
for the other
Fortzilla,
class and the other
but they are
bikes.
already behind us, I
You
think.
need to know how they might react, what they want to do, because normally, most series, it's up to you in the quicker car to make a move around them, even if they stay on the ideal line, because they're slower cars, way easier for you to make the pass, right? Even if you have to go offline for that. And it is something that is an art in itself, like being quick in traffic conditions, especially like the shorter the track is, the harder it gets, because you run into so many packs and you don't want to get involved with a fight for the lead on a different class, for example, because these guys will obviously go at each other like 100%, and you're just trying to pass there and have your race.
Absolutely, throwback to the old days, as we see the Zanso Simple driver applying pressure, or that's him being unlapped, because that is Kevin Siggy trying to get by on Dan Kell. These two have raced before in the GPVWC International Touring Cup, although this battle's a little bit different. Dan, yeah, just don't fight him, mate. Just let him go, because he's a lap down at the moment, is Siggy. When it comes to your thing of battling through traffic in the higher class, it's there are some drivers that are good at it and some drivers that aren't so good at it. When we were racing back in Season 8 of the Virtual Endurance Championship, I was part of Doug Henson Racing, and Stephen Bailey and Lars Brugman were both extremely good in traffic. They maybe weren't as fast as Kubasinski, Nikodem Wisniewski, and Pash Gergis, who were our main rivals in the championship. They may not have been as fast over a lap, but in traffic, my goodness me, Bailey was very, very good back in the day through traffic. And that's where you make up a race win, maybe even a championship.
Definitely, it's a huge factor in all of this. Well, we're back with the Jean-Alaise Esports Ferraris. They're in a formation flight basically the entire time, I have to say.
Very sick race, I gotta say.
It should be Jordi Swears still on the number, what is it actually?
37.
But it is 37, yeah, and 36 in front, which Martin Dillon is currently driving. And it seems like they're getting a bit closer. They're 6 and 7. Let's see, there's the Sancho Simsport right in front of him. I have to say, although Sancho is a team that is basically getting highlighted in every single competition out there right now, because they
not really boring,
good,
Andres.
really fast drivers. We didn't saw them
Not
too
boring
much
at all
today, because they had a very quiet first hour.
Into the pit lane, Jordi Sveers. Whether that's to serve a penalty, I don't think he's been assigned one. But he's considering he's already pitted. I'd assume so. Was flying there with Dolan, as you say. The thing with them is that those two, and this is the same thing with a lot of teams, is the particularly the main sim racing teams like John Lacey Esports, like Sancho. I think Juice of Satellite will also be a part of that.
How many laps?
Plenty of other examples. Sim racing Holland is that when they pass off to their second
10
driver
after this
they're
one.
normally just as fast.
Copy.
Whereas there are some drivers, like we said this before, that are bringing in a
20
pro,
minutes
maybe
then.
even a special driver in.
Until Michi in
that
the
maybe
car.
doesn't quite have the speed and that grit and determination and the consistency that the sim drivers bring to the table. You say about Sancho flying under the radar.
Yeah, Andrea,
Dan
some of them are
has just done very, very well. He's just
very
flying by
aggressive
himself
indeed.
at the moment. You can see him there in 5th place, about 6 seconds off the back of Adam Baldwin, and a good way clear of Martin Dolan. But he and the top 5 did not take fuel under the code 80. They stayed out. So this is going to really chop and change the GTE category when some of the other drivers come in.
And talking about Sancho, they're currently getting squeezed by 2 LMPs. I saw that on the other camera. It looked quite interesting. Coming out of Sector 2. But we're with Marla Racing Team and Stefanko. They still have Jack Keithley that can enter the car. They got Peter Bielak, so they have 2 big names basically sitting on the bench right now, waiting for their chance to jump into this Orica LMP2 car. So there's still a lot of skill and power, I would say, to bring this car further up the grid. Currently in 7th, right behind 1ACO and Axel Sports, with Driller Esports behind them. I have to say, Driller, that's the car that we saw crashing earlier.
What lap times you doing?
8th.
A different drillers. There's
That's
two
a
of them. Yes,
that's
yeah,
the
yeah,
Daniel
no,
Bruno
I was
one, yes.
wondering.
Oh, really?
Andonovsky,
It's. I mean, last
with,
lap,
with the one behind
yeah,
the wheel.
they're
3.6,
yeah.
but it's just
That was a race lead.
Traffic.
each lap. Yeah,
Race leads closing up in LMP2. Chinchik's coming
On
on the pressure.
every lap.
Simincic. Of course, I realise now as we're riding on board
Like, the
with,
best lap time of
I'm
the
assuming
race
it's
is
Adi Sutton behind the wheel.
1.0, which
destined
is
for his way up
Oh, okay.
not really good.
the top split of GT Challenge in a couple of weeks' time after doing very well in Split 2. We've all got cars in this race, haven't we? Because part of the Sancho ones, we've got Balapan Mertzman ones, and then obviously Ruben's got Scuderia Leone. So we've all got Pete's bits in this. We're not biased. He says.
No, you're spotted. That's it. Done.
But it's even biased now, so it's fine.
That's totally fine. Yamazaki for ADR Esports against, that should be Scuderia Leone.
Legend Vertons, yeah.
Pretty
Wow,
easy
just
pass here on
DRS open.
Straight, getting to slow
And
down
by
that
we go.
Corvette. Worked
Damage
out
on the
quite
front
well.
right as well.
Hmm?
There was a bit of damage on the front right of that Corvette as well for ADR Esports.
Yeah,
Is a position
looked a bit-
change.
Got the Hagen
Oh,
and
the
Terzic.
ditch!
The 30
Fuck
BMW
me.
there, a bit sideways. Jordan
bit?
probably thought already, oh, that might be a chance if he's throwing the car away now. I'll get back 6th position, but it's not easy. But look at the atmosphere we have now. Like, we see the sun is lower and lower.
Lights
As we
coming on.
obviously come in later with 2 hours remaining in the race. Thanks, Tower, for reminding us. And with that, the haze and everything changing, shadows getting even longer now, fully across the track here, actually.
This is, and it always has been, and it's been improved on all the time. Every time, like, you go through it, and I remember when doing the more virtuals that I couldn't. You know, it looks good at this time. I couldn't. It looked so good. The later we get into the race, when it gets to that sun setting, there is just something about it that just looks absolutely perfect, and it really does look quite incredible. And so as the sun sets, it will look better and better and better. So at least it's something pretty for the drivers to go through. I once saw, here's the slides from Alan Terzic, lovely stuff. I watched
Lovely.
Terzic drive
Oh dear.
a NASCAR of all things, a Cup Series car around the Nordschleife not too long ago, and out of every corner, he was basically drifting. It was about 45 degrees of lock every corner, and he was just constantly sliding and saving it. So he's been practicing in that environment, at least for this.
Actually gonna fire up rFactor 2 real quick to see
the teammate, the
everything's
joint
working.
Producer Satellite Racing then into the pit lane as we see the GTEs,
Gotta get prepared.
the rest of them come into the pit lane. Those that haven't already been in under that code 60, they'll be coming in to serve now. And this, like I said, with the LMP2 category, with how everything sort of got spiced up with the different sort of stink lengths, now we've got the code 60 that's really just lit up the GTE category. This is going to be a mess until the checkered flag now. I don't know which side I'd want to be on.
I like that there are a few uncertainties now. Like in the beginning, when we saw both of the Porsche 24 cars leaving everyone in the dust, basically, I wasn't sure like what will happen with the category, but it only took half an hour basically to throw everything around. So it will be very interesting to see how that will progress in these last remaining 2 hours. And if Rudy van Buren can actually hold on to the lead, won't be easy, that's for sure, especially now with Dan Callan being in second. But you said already they didn't took any fuel during the code 60. And if you wonder, the race director said code 80, it's because Jimmy Ellis is obviously very used to the Virtual Endurance Championship where it's code 80. And if you're trying to handle all of that, then sometimes that slips. I mean, we know that from commentary as well, right?
Oh,
sometimes,
too many times.
yeah, you just come around with the wrong title, even that can happen. And now we're on board with Rookie Monsters against Virtual Sim Racing. And look how close they are through Blanchimont. There might be a chance now if he goes for the inside, not covering up from Virtual Sim Racing. That should be an easy pass. He had no way for him to go around that again, and with that, winning one position.
Yeah, nice move there. Speaking of nice moves, there's one for the Marla Racing team car on 1 Echo at Lecom. Nice work there from Martin Stefanko. I think Mohamed Milan has got something to say about that, almost going it down the inside of the reverse. Nice move from Mantis Rikas, the Lithuanian, closing in on the back of Jonathan Hoggard. And with all of that, with everything that's happened in LMP2, Hoggard in RSR were last in LMP2 where they started. They're currently running in 16th, running in the mid-pack in LMP2. So the ex-British Formula 4 race winner, multiple race winner, moving that car forward and clearly having the consistency and pace. Ryan Elliott's more of their sort of sim racing driver. That said, Jonathan Hoggard is extremely fast in sim racing. So I think that's kind of 50-50 between the two of them. Could still be quite a good car, although I've not seen Ryan Elliott in endurance racing or multi-class racing too much. The last time I remember racing him was in touring cars. It didn't go very well.
It just shows like how many different ways you can approach such a race and with the RSR car, right? I mean, the qualification wasn't great, but showing consistency on track, keeping your car out of trouble, especially the longer the races are, right? If we go from 3 hours to the 6-hour events, 12-hour, 24 hours that we'll have here at rFactor 2, you can win a lot by just keeping the car on track and keeping clean. This is Porsche Milan looking onto Stefanko, if I remember that correctly, the Marla Racing team. Oh, that was a small bump between them. And Porsche Milan, I think he lost the position there. Yeah, he had to stay behind the Marla Racing team. Quite surprised that you saw how quick he all of a sudden became around the apex there.
It was quite a move there from Stefanko, who's committed. We'll give him that. Yeah, I didn't think there was contact until that. We didn't quite catch that from TV, but just a little bit. As we see our race leaders going very, very close by College Burst Esports, applying pressure to Vargas Sim Racing, and a good 2 and a bit seconds back. R8GL also not too far away. If this lot will battle, everything will close up. You say about the 3-hour race, the thing is that I'd say is that in a 3-hour race, you have no position to make mistakes because it's such a short race that if you make a mistake, you'll literally cost everything. Here are your current runners. How much will this change when it comes to the end of the race?
Yeah, this is the current standings after a bit more than 1.5 hours now. No, actually,
just over an hour.
2 hours. 1 hour. Man, I'm so confused already since we're talking about so many different race lengths now. We're totally lost that this is a 3-hour race. So obviously after the first hour, and we see that the BMW of Neil Verhagen and Alan Terzic is currently in the lead in GTE. But that's because they just had another round of pit stops. So where is where's the Porsche 24 entry? Where is Rudy van Buren?
Van Buren is great.
Oh, it
question.
did change. More assuring, 6th position. That is the car of Rudy
Yes.
Van Buren. So now
how
we
will
actually
they
get to
do?
see how quick the second driver is.
We'll keep an eye on those lap times with a watchful eye. Of course, the top 5 in the GT category that had already stopped. It is important to note. Yes, of course, they've already stopped. But remember one thing is that on their pit stop, they won't have taken as much fuel on as everyone that has just stopped on the previous
6 more laps.
going to the pit lane.
Copy,
So
6 more laps.
effectively, they were obviously going to take the lead because their pit stop was automatically shorter by taking on less fuel. So that's really thrown everything into the fray. But it obviously means they've got to put more fuel in to get to the checkered flag, which is why they are going to have to make an extra pit stop over everyone else. Whether they've gained enough to do so and not lose too much time is a question which will not be answered right now. And our focus will then go on to what some of the co-drivers do inside the car. I think Maurice Schuring's about to come across the line to finish first lap behind the Porsche 24 car. So still leaving the pit lane, so it's a 2:51. Definitely not that slow.
No, definitely not. It's a good lap time to start. Talking about good lap times, Marshall Chinchik is still leading for Vargas Sim Racing in LMP2, so that's overall in front of Johnny Simoncic, who gets closer while they now go through traffic. So they're now running actually in the Porsche 911 and then the 488. Up next, it will be very interesting to watch. While we're on board with Dennis Duna, he was winning the Porsche Cup support race, if I remember correctly, for sim racing for Holland, and now up into 8th in front of Kevin Ryan. And there is another car that they will overtake there. That is Team RGPL with Alexei Kutsak in there. And then Kevin Ryan will probably get
Please
involved
note me with 4
in
to
the
go.
fight as well. Kevin Ryan,
Okay.
wonder, wasn't he in the first GT Pro season? No, that was only his teammate. No, only Ferris Stanley was in back then.
He used to drive for Simtech back in the day,
Yes.
did Kevin Ryan, and was actually mighty fast back then. So it's interesting that he's found a home in HME, a team which has taken on quite a lot of drivers in the last sort of 12 months, and they're looking stronger because of it, must be said.
Yeah, they're doing the right moves, probably picking up the right drivers. That's basically another skill you need to have in sim racing. Trying to scout
agree.
talent. But is Kevin Ryan now also going through? It seems like Team RGPL are not really up to the pace that everyone around them is going. Look at Dennis. Far ahead he is already. Wonder if that's down to damage or just them currently not really running that quick on the tires here in this race, because they can't see if they have pitted again. Quickly see when we expand that if they had a lap. Or we have Martin Dillon in the pits.
So this is the second pit stop for
Yes.
Derlin, which I think he's just trying to get ahead of the fact they've got to take a second stop. He is taking tyres, and I think he is passing on to his teammate Kasper Stolzer, which will make things a little bit interesting towards the end of the race. So they're going to be in for a long stop now to change
Nice
for the
gurney
tyres
flap
and the driver as well.
on the Ferrari.
How that'll play into it, only one way to see. I think Casper's mighty fast. Again, this is what I said about John Lacey Esports, is once they've passed off to their second driver, is their second driver's mighty quick anyway. I remember with Alan Terzic's teammate Nova Hagen, who is obviously raced BMW. I think it's BMW M2s in real life, being a BMW driver and various other things.
You mean Neil Verhagen?
Yes.
Yeah, he's one of the BMW
Proper-
juniors.
yeah.
They relocated to the Nürburgring here while they practiced for their entry into the 24-hour race this year, and they raced several BMW cars, and also the new M2 Cup car here. Yeah.
Yeah, struggled in that like in sim racing, struggled in the M2.
Sim Cup. Yep.
Yeah. Whether that'll apply in this, because this is a wildly different car, and I think a lot of people have struggled in that M2. So, I still have faith, and I know Alan Terzic is actually quite a good teacher in that sense.
It definitely is. I mean, he knows how to operate such a car, and as he
4
said,
laps
the
to go.
M2
Copy
way more
joining.
loose from the rear. And, there's huge.
So guys, it's 4 laps to go, so that is a 5-minute signal. Be right back, grabbing coffee, joining server.
Okay.
Okay, I'm on server now.
Okay, so wow, everyone's beating, and I still have 2 laps to go. So
That's standard. Game is still loading. Come on, show it, show it, show it, please. Nice. Enjoy, guys, enjoy. And if in doubt, we have this view ready. Nice.
Actually, I'm very happy with my pace, like during the second stint. See, if you take it easy during the first one, then you can really gain a lot during the second one.
Okay. Box this lap. Yep. Copy.
I think Devin is running out of fuel.
You closed in on him quite a lot now. So I have one cut left, right?
Yeah, sorry.
No, no worries.
I fucked up massively.
Probably would be the same the other way around potentially. Good job, man. Looking good.
Yeah, I think because we were able to save a lot, we still have some chances to, I think, gain.
Yep.
Real shame about the first couple of laps. Really, I was so surprised to see some of the GTs just being so slow.
Yeah, I do understand. But eventually we're going to be fine.
Oh, so we have some dark blue on the right side, but it has no effect really.
Okay.
I don't even know how it happened, to be fair.
As long as it doesn't have a huge effect, we're a goodie.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Oh, that was close. I think that was. No. I just thought I saw Jensen Button on the Delta. I thought it was him, but nope.
We're all goodie, I hope.
think some of them didn't change the tires as well. But like they are doing third stint perhaps now.
Sadly, I can't check.
Yeah, I mean we've lost some positions, so that's
Yeah,
the
Brown.
only
Brown is definitely.
explanation.
Yeah. What exactly is the fuel target?
There's no fuel target. It's all dynamic. I was able to like do 2 extra laps. But I think for 18 laps, let me check. Yeah, for 18 laps it's 4.16, 4.16.
Okay. Yeah.
But I was able to get like sometimes even below 4, so.
Copy.
That was a 3:58.55.
Jesus Christ.
Hmm? What the fuck?
Fuck me, Alter. Das kann nicht wahr sein. 3 Positionen, Mann. Ja, protest that, man.
I think that was Priya, right?
Prio, ja. Ja, tires are fucked. Wahnsinn. So nice, Alter. Browner without a rear wing.
That was a 2:10.98.
Yep, she marked the sea, we did get punted. That's nice. Probably now I'm getting massively held up because I think I could do quicker. Do you remember what was your gap to Hemmingsen before the pit stop?
Nope, nope. I was like 2 seconds behind Dawid, but that's it.
Understood.
That lap was a 2:02.30.
By the way, it just got darker. Potential rain.
Do you have any damage from the trio?
Negative. Even your artificial one is gone.
Okay. I reported that
tires.
trio guy.
Yeah, but tires aren't happy, of course.
Just take it easy, they will sort of come back to the good shape later on. It's, I had some real like drift during my first stint, then I just applied some smooth driving and it worked.
Yeah, I'm trying that as well. Just even also trying to get past cars ahead. You mean the Butler Pal of Kolvenbach there? That has crashed?
That was a 2:02.42.
I am expecting some rain indeed. Oh, damn it. I don't necessarily need it, as it would screw over our strap. The wall's gonna go for a move now. Later.
That lap was a 2:02.68.
Drive through for Trio.
I fixed it. I'm surprised that a real racing driver's getting off by a dummy. Okay, I'm trying to introduce the smooth operator now.
Okay.
Ah, Jan retired. Real racing driver. Okay. Is Tony the dad of Andy? Because it's T Prio, not A Prio.
Jernej says that you should put the headlights on, I think, because it's already too dark.
Copy, headlights on. Thank you, Jernej.
That lap was a 2:03.12.
After the first 2 laps have not been fun at all, I'm now enjoying the race. Next up I'm trying to catch Kolvenbach for the top 10. Ah, I see, Jan. And well, you are with a celebrity as Jensen Button as well, huh? It's nice to drive with him in a team, I guess. It's awesome to see Jensen Button in that event anyway. Lovely. That's what I call passion of drivers. Okay, so let's have a look what we can do base-wise. Trying to take it easy on the tires though. Huh? Where have I hit you, Ricardo? I was not even near your car. Oh well, pit road. Yeah, the pit road. Well, I couldn't do anything against that. But I avoided the contact as much as I could. Yeah, in the pits. Yeah, well, I did not know that your car had the...
That was a 2.
Well, you can call it unsafe release.
69.
And I'd agree with that. I'm sorry. Again, wasn't on purpose. Seemingly not my best day of racing tonight. Yeah, I didn't take any damage at all. I hope you guys didn't either. That turn 8 curb. Yeah, sorry Ricardo. Feel free to get him here on the chat and I say sorry to him. Although light blue doesn't even make a difference, but yeah, of course, don't want to be causing any issues. Right, catching the Kolvenbach guy.
That was a 2:03.31.
Thoughts on that one?
I think it was on the limit.
Yeah, I don't want to protest.
That was a 2:06.61.
Oh, jetzt hängt mir der Wall wieder am Arsch da. Das ist nicht zu fassen.
Nice save.
Next time I see a gap, I just throw it.
That was a 2:06.00.
What a guy.
What a move.
Yeah, well done.
But man, this has costed us another 5, 6, 10 seconds, whatever. And I have the wall on the rear end now. I see everyone was calling like the LMP2s doesn't leave enough room for the GTEs, but I can see why this is the case. Everyone is getting out their elbows everywhere. By the way, about smooth driving, imagine the grinning cat.
That was a 2:04.71.
Car number 19, blue flags, you have been catched 3 times now. Blue flag, move over. Car number 19.
Fuck. I made a mistake. Oh nee! Fuck, Alter!
What was that?
Bounced off the curb.
I mean, that Pablo Lopez guy. What was that? Like, he completely closed the door.
I'm not enjoying this race by all means. Ah, that was my mistake though, for God's sake. Now I need to do it all over again. Not having the best of days in the office.
That was a 2:09.78.
So ein dummer Dreck, aber... I'm not used of using ABS.
That lap was a 2:03.58.
Oh, big oof. Yep, David, it's not designed for using while driving, but I still use it. Just need to refresh it every now and then, and if you guys notice me, then I can do that. So Kinnas. Jetzt ist aber mal Schluss mit lustig hier. Well, at least I had some nice overtakes.
That was a 2:02.90.
Sorry, Dawid, for the bad driving.
I mean, no worries. I mean, I think my stint was even worse.
Yeah, but I think you didn't spun twice. I mean, once I got shot, but...
That was a 2:02.28.
By the way, I don't think I have been good at tires, sadly.
It's all good so far. So guys just pitted, and there's no way that they are going to go till the end, so...
What is that LMP behind me?
Pablo Lopez. Well, actually,
You can see it on my.
no, yeah, it's Juan Carlos Fernandez, but he's lapped.
Okay.
How many more laps in this stint?
2 laps to go.
Good.
Other way, I'm sweating like a swimmer. It's just so intense.
The lap was a 2:02.11.
Penalties for obvious stuff. I should get one then too, to be honest. Because I bumped badly into the wall, I think, and that was avoidable contact indeed. Ah, that Ferrari's not gonna come nice. Those two cars in particular are quite ridiculous, I gotta say.
That was a 2:02.99.
Yeah, I agree, Ricardo. But you know what's the logic? What's the logic consequence from that? With every... Whoa. Whoa. With everyone doing it, you just adapt and do the same. I got mentally scared now. Sorry. Probably, yeah, I don't know. As long as nothing happens, no judgment. But I can hear what you say. Where is my...
That lap was a 2:14.41.
So Ricardo, this time no pits please, no pits.
We have a slow car on track, so we need to come to a code 80. So that's on the pit limiter in 10 seconds.
Guess who's in pits right now?
That's in 5,
That's good.
4, 3, 2, 1. Code 80 enforced.
That's perfect, actually.
Thank you guys for sharing the time with us today. Very lucky indeed. I agree. So we gained surely 20-30 seconds.
I think the guy in front of you is... he has a new tires, so keep that in mind.
Copy.
Wow, but it was very good for us, it seems, really.
Yeah, it seems like a net
We are-
7 now.
Yeah, after the pit stop, so amazing stuff.
Wow, you need to be so careful to not go above 60.
Coming back to green in 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Green flag.
Michi, I think you are going to jump another 2 drivers. I'm not sure.
That was a 5:06.61.
Yeah, P4 still in pit road. Through. P5.
Nice.
I guess Pinter's on a fresh set of tires as well. I'm gonna let Pinto by and try to put myself into slipstream.
Yep, okay.
He's a lot quicker. Like he closed the gap of 3 seconds in 2 laps or something. So, oh, Pinto box. Okay, change of plans.
The lap was a 2:03.81.
Next guy is Hemmingsen, he's over 7 seconds behind.
Yeah, I hope our tire choice will be goodie in the Indy. Oh, there's another dead car. Who's that car behind?
Trio.
Oh no.
Yeah. Obviously he's lapped, but yeah.
Yeah, he's pushing like mad though.
The lap was a 2:03.45.
Yeah, just don't fight him. He's quicker, so you can just use the slipstream and stuff. For some time.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that, but phew.
Yeah, I think he's on the soft tires. So it's all good, no worries.
Do they even out with ours?
Sorry?
Do they even out with ours in pace after some time? Or is their advantage like permanent?
I haven't tested it, but I think they... Look, it's our second stint on these tires. There's no way that on the new tires they are going to drop so much.
Yeah, I just hope that they are not, like, you know, consecutively slower a lot.
No, I think it's all good. We are on the right strategy.
Oof, nearly lost it. Meine Fresse, ey. Was machst du denn?
That was a 2:06.92.
Fuck! 7 seconds thrown away for no fucking reason. Yeah, I'm gonna lose those 2 spots now. Do we know if or when Hemmingsen and Keithley have to bid again?
Not really. You can check it because there's no live timing, I think. But I can try to check when
The lap was a
it lasts.
2:04.86.
Yeah, maybe Jerne has some idea.
I think they pitted one lap before us.
Okay.
That was a 2:03.75.
Laps, get the calc out towards fuel.
Right now we are going to calculate it.
That was a 2:03.66.
Zu langsam. There's a dead LMP2, we may come to a code 80. Ah, that was... okay. I know which car that was now.
We got a very slow car in sector 3. We're coming to a short code 80 in 10 seconds. Code 80, 10 seconds.
I just passed by... ah, fuck.
That means no overtaking, remember that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Code 80 enforced.
Fuck! I think if we full fuel, we could have made it to the end.
Yeah, I know.
Fuck! I was thinking about just going into the pits for exactly that reason.
And now it's gonna... if they pit now...
Yeah, then we're dead. Where is that car?
Which one? Oh.
It's RN SRS Vision.
Oh, I think he's still. I don't know. I can check it to be fair. But so far nobody's in the pits. But
P9 in the
it's-
pits. P10 gonna go to pits.
Mhm. You know, we had really big gap to P9.
It may just be enough.
I don't know.
But then I have now the other 2 cars on my back. They will overtake me #soon.
The Valley in the pits as well.
Könnte kurzen. That's racing though.
So it's 11 laps till the end from now, Yerny says.
From now? That can't be right. It's 40
Yeah,
minutes.
yeah, can be, yeah. Like, once you pit, then it's gonna be 11, I think.
And we are coming back to green in 10 seconds.
They are still in
It's
the
in
pits.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Green flag.
That lap was a 4:00.71. That was a 2:04.50.
Okay, can you confirm 11 laps remaining after pit stop, please? Fuel level I need. Okay, die Position kannst du jetzt
For
noch-
11 laps, it's 46 liters.
That was a 2:03.18.
It was a question of time anyway. To I see this correct, there is a small chance we're gonna keep 10th.
Actually, I think P9.
Remember, I think they go to the end.
Yes, but we are P7 and only 2 of them is going to overtake us.
Really, the pit road is long.
Yeah, but only 2 guys pitted during code 80. It was Milan and Deval. So they are going to end up
okay.
in front of us, so
And-
P9.
Beavis is gonna pit again then.
Yes, I think so. Also, Deval is going to be like not far away in front of us after you exit the pit, so we don't know.
Copy.
That was a 2:03.51.
So 46 liters is required after leaving the garage.
How many laps from now can you do?
Including this, 6.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, it's all correct.
Copy.
Actually, you are massively gaining over the Val now, so yeah, just keep pushing.
Copy.
That's right. Yeah.
That was a 2:04.28.
Yeah, keep fighting, boys. I'm coming. Ah, was machst du? Go. You need to stay closer. Fuck. Trick.
That was a 2:04.03.
What fuel target you gave me there?
4.16.
Copy.
Just as I said, babies in the pits. So yeah.
Copy. another
That lap
52.
was a 2:03.60.
Not sure if Hemmingsen is struggling and slowing down or... No. Ah, there. Scheiße. Hemmingsen has a cut.
That was a 2:03.91.
Okay, I'll be back in a minute.
Copy. Can you recalc? I don't think we have full 11 laps to go after this one. Shit. Järni, help. Järni.
Leader is 50 seconds in front of us.
Dennis is 50 seconds ahead of us,
The
yeah.
lap was a
Yes.
2:03.03.
Are you pitting this lap?
Yes, I just started the final lap.
Okay. Järni says 11.
Maybe for them.
No, we both need to pit. They are not going to lap us.
As soon as I come to pits, it's 20 minutes to go. For us, yeah, it could be like, okay, yeah, I'll just take.
Yeah, but they will start another lap right then.
Ach du Scheiße. Please let me clear the traffic. Oh no. Scheißdreck. Oh Mann. Yeah, on that back straight we lost the undercut to Drillers. So I take fuel, I have 46 liters left after leaving.
That was a 2:16.51.
It's this up. The wall's gonna pass us too. And then it's 11 or 12 seconds to him. Oh, das langt nicht. Für die Wall. Von Kiezli. Wow, they gained 2 seconds on us on the pit stop.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, and Pinto is coming fast. Is Pinto RAG?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The one with cast off, right?
I'm not sure. Perhaps they still have to pit. I'm gonna check it now.
That was a 3:05.00.
I think you're gonna gain one position now. Oh no, sorry. No, that was the pit, but...
So it's gonna
That was
come
early.
down. Yeah. It's gonna come down to the fact whether I'm able to somehow catch up Hemmingsen and overtake him. Every time I'm hitting a GTE in the middle of Kuhon. Okay, it looks like I could be able to outpace Pinto if I keep it clean.
Okay.
Also, I'm gaining on Nazi and Hemmingsen.
Yep. Keep pushing.
Oh, Pinto to the pits.
Oof. Yeah.
A relief.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
That was a
They were so fast, they were behind us at one point.
2:04.15.
It was like very strange for me that they ended up so close to us.
That lap was a 2:03.58. That was a 2:03.31.
We're trying sector. Hold your breath.
Fuel over the line.
That was a
25.3.
2:03.49.
Scheiße, ich krieg den GTE nicht. Fuck.
Right, just put mix 4. Unless you already have it.
Nope. My thing says we're tight though.
Sorry? See, I think you were right. Yeah, me and your name we were wrong. There's-
Yeah, not that the 4 liters were decisive, but never mind. Oh, Caruso, what a lad. What a lad. Come on. Smooth is fast. Be smooth. So 4 laps after this one?
Yep.
Fuck. Okay.
Actually, well, I'm not we are not sure, but yeah, just put mix 4. It's you have more than enough of fuel.
Yeah, we can coast us to the end anyway. Sleepy Cat Racing, thanks for the
That lap
subscribing.
was a 2:04.04.
Appreciate that. Spurs gonna win this?
Yep.
Nice. Good job, boys. I know we're not finished yet. Still.
That Code 80 stuff is such a... so Milan ended up on P3. He was behind us before.
Yeah, I know.
He's P3 now.
I should have just took the gamble. But okay, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's not that bad of the results.
Seppel00, thank you very much for subscribing with a tier 1 sub here. Appreciate your support, man. Appreciate everyone's support tonight. We're still not done yet. Now we have a potential chance to creep into the slipstream. Flemington here.
The lap was a 2:03.17.
Turn 1 exit wasn't goody enough here. We have so few chances left. Afraid this lap's not gonna work. Trying my best. Shit. Yeah, big fault there. Thought I was going slower.
The lap was a 2:04.25.
But you know what? Either way, I would have been stuck behind that behind that GTE now anyway. Ooh, actually, he's gonna be stuck. Shit, I should have been closer.
So I think one lap after this one.
We have one chance into Lacombe.
That was a 2:03.26.
What do you think? Give back the position or not?
Let me check.
I think we got pushed wide there.
Yep. No, don't give that back. He pushed you. Yes.
Yes!
I think we're gonna keep this position.
Yeah, we should. Nice intentional wreck. If we don't keep it, we just put that against it.
Yeah.
But I think we got pushed off there. Like I would have.
Yep.
I would have about made the corner, but then I got a tap.
I've checked it. He actually pushed you off the track, so. Yep.
Noise. Well, looks like Burst has the best team result in LMP2. Nice.
No, well done. I'm amazed that we didn't get penalty for cuts after the my.
Oh yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, I think I get one. I got one cut though.
Okay, so another one and we would be dead.
Yeah, we could have been fourth, but you know what? Being in the top 10 in this race after the rough start you had and in that kind of field, like it's a top class LMP2 lineup we had. Guys, thank you.
Actually, that's more than I hoped for before the race. Maybe after quali, I thought that we have some chances for, I don't know, P6 perhaps. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's not bad.
Yeah, I'm very happy. That is a good result.
Yep.
Guys, thank you very much for supporting. Thank you so much for being here all the time. Thank you, Sharon.
It's a shame that you that you were not able to win the Porsche, because otherwise that would be burst hat trick. Because I've won.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now
Yeah, but
Dennis.
to be honest, I think I could have won that race if not for lap 1. Despite it was my fault to a certain extent, it's just shitty. But okay, it was a good P3.
Yeah, still to win.
Thank you, Ricardo.
2 out of 3 races, and I think the best team results overall. P1 and P8 in the main one. It's nice.
Yeah, I think we're the only team putting 2 cars on the top 10.
Yes, I think so. Because Roman Grosjean has P3 and P14, Williams P7, P12. So, yeah.
Where is Jene? He shall honk. Dennis should have honked. Oh guys, what a race, what a race. Intense 3 hours of esports. Of course, we're gonna have the result sheet up and show it right here. We are really just 5 seconds off P5. It all came down to the second code 80. Well, gotta say though, the first code 80 brought us into position, but yeah, you made this goodie.
I mean, we've lost on the second one, so. But still, I think we've. I mean, I'm not sure because I think we were like P10.
I'm wet
for that first code 80, so.
Yeah, roughly. Like we were P5 effectively, like where Borjan and Liam de Waal were, but yeah, I'm not gonna mourn about P8 on the last lap.
Yep.
Thank you guys, thank
also,
you
I've checked
so much.
the official broadcast and it was not like they. It seemed like just like a fight, not like. Like a fault from any of you. But I think. I mean, I've checked it on your stream. I put a replay like 2 times, and it looked to me like he just pushed you.
If
like,
if I wouldn't have felt the contact, I would have given the position back, just because fair racing. But yeah. I mean, we got screwed over by some guys as well, anyway. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things we could talk about now: shoulda, woulda, coulda, ifs, and whens. Like all the stuff that happened with Team Prio, they shot us, and then yeah, other mistakes we did. So yeah, at the end, I think it's all right. Thank you, Ruiz.
Exactly.
All right, guys, that's gonna do it for tonight. Actually, be right back. And yeah, again, maybe a controversial finish, but yeah, it is what it is. If it's gonna be reported, if we receive a pen, then we receive a pen. But as of right now, I consider this 8th place being safe. Anyway, congrats to Dennis and Jerne for winning that race. You guys, Burst Esports, thank you. Done an awesome job there at the front, I'm sure. Not sure if the top 3 have been in any way influenced by those code 80s, but anyway, guys, please, if you do appreciate the stuff we do, if you do appreciate sim racing, follow up on this channel on Twitch, subscribe to the YouTube channel, give the video a like, and come back for more sim racing streaming. That happens on the weekend, as we have a little bit of preparation to go with the GT Pro Series. Other than that, on Monday, the GT Pro Series Round 5 at Indianapolis is on. So 1915 on upcoming Monday. Note that already for more diehard esports in the Corvette GT3. And yeah, as I said, guys, thank you so much for being here. I now gonna send you over to whom am I gonna send you over? To GoPro Lopez. Let's see how his stream or how his race went. Guys, thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to the channel, make this community grow, and come back for more sim racing. See you there, and goodbye.